Yo, what's up guys? Another video. Douman. One of the units we haven't seen that much yet. Of course, LD5 Drakule was nice enough to let me play on his account. Maybe you've seen it on some other channels as well because he's been RTAing with this. The unit is pretty interesting, but there's some downsides to it. Again, we have the issue that we have karma. If you check my other video from Gui or like whatever you say it, karma is not that great of a skill. Karma is pretty much just a 2-turn silence, and if you haven't seen that video yet, I recommend you to see that video. To understand that, Burning Soul is a pretty interesting skill, but then we have Curse of Death. So what does Curse of Death does? It grants Curse of Death on an enemy target, excluding bosses, and they get minus 25% HP every turn they do. So in Karma, they get minus 50% HP if they use a second or third skill. In Curse of Death, they get minus 25% for every turn they take. And it stays for 4 turns. So it actually stays for the whole duration. So then the question, A, does it kill? Because Karma doesn't. B, can it be cleansed? And C, how good is it actually? Because Karma can be resisted. Curse of Death, even on 100% Eki, can be resisted. And I think that's the main issue with these units in general. They kind of need this, like it's like a Sekhmet. Sekhmet is pretty good if she lands her shit. But if she doesn't land her shit, she's a sitting duck and she pretty much doesn't do anything. And in the case of Sekhmet, she gets her skill of cooldown still. But this, you gotta wait like 4 turns to get your skills back. And that's pretty long. The unit doesn't do too much then. Also, what he told me, he's been using this quite some in RTA, that it's easily out-healed. You have 25% damage per turn, that's quite some. But it's relatively easy to out-heal it, so where do you actually want to use it? So, let's first answer the questions. A, can it kill? B, can it be cleansed? And C, I don't even know what's used. Let's keep going. He uses this thing. He has a bunch more LDs. So let's actually see what comes up with using this. Okay, I was distracted for a moment. Let's just go for the Curse of Death. The issue is their shield. So the shield already kind of counters Curse of Death too, because with the shield, animation looks really cool though. Looks really cool. And we get a proc, nice. So I already did his S2, and I think that's an... Yeah, I think we can do this. Okay, that's cool. So the moment you use a skill, he nearly dead. Well, that thing is also dead, but... Okay, with the shield. Okay, so that answer number 1, it dies on procs. It does die on procs. That is pretty dope, though. That is pretty dope. So if something is hella proccing on your ass, it can most definitely kill, which is pretty dope. But the issue is when, okay, this Nikki is kind of winning this match. Okay, we're lagging a little bit. The skill is really dope though. I really do like the animation. Okay, I think I have to close a few extra programs because my computer is like, why are you doing this to me? Okay, he already used his S2, so that's not really that useful to do right now. I want to see what happens when the shield pops on Kamoon. How much? Yeah, the shield pops and 1 turn goes down. So the shield pretty much nullified the complete Curse of Death. So, yeah, and again, like the shield pretty much nullified the complete Curse of Death. So for that reason, Curse of Death is not that great. But it can kill. It's already a lot better than the Karma skill. So the next question, can it be cleansed? Because Karma can actually be cleansed. Let's see if this one can get cleansed too. Okay, stop proccing. Unnecessary. Curse of Death, yes. And the Karma, yes, we got both. Okay, let's do both on you as well, if we can. Resisted, so yeah, then the skill becomes absolutely useless. So if I would do S2 right now, let's see what actually happens to Karma. Would Karma proc before I actually land the protection? Okay, Karma does land, before the protection. So also if you would heal, the protection would, your skill would count before that. But that also means that I couldn't cleanse off the Curse of Death. Which, that's interesting. That's definitely interesting. Let's see if I have a chance to add in another Curse of Death. So that is decent for karma, but that's just... On the other hand, you could have just done S1 a few times and then it would be fine as well. So let's see, I want to cleanse, try another time to cleanse Curse of Death, if I can. There's just a freaking big ass frog barfing at your face. So no, you can't cleanse that. So does it have some usage? Yeah, it does have some usage, but the biggest issue is resist. The moment things get resisted, yeah, also that didn't work, but with this buff on it right now, then it actually does count. So I think it's pretty easily out-healed, out-shielded, that kind of stuff. But if that's not there, then it could be pretty good. So how good would it be for RTA? I think for RTA it is decent, but the issue is, like, it would be good in a bruiser fight, in a speed cleave meta kind of style combo, whatever. It is not gonna be that great, because you probably, it doesn't add like any kind of form of CC or any form of stunts or anything to the team. So it would be in a bruiser fight. And the issue with bruiser fights is, with bruiser fights you often have shields, you often have heals. Like, let's say you fight Ragdoll's Artemil easily out heals it. If you put like Lulu and friends next to it, friends, anything like that, easily out heals it. At first I also thought, like, if you put it on a Diana switches once or twice, she's dead. But then, like, wait, no, Diana's just gonna S2 and then there's a shield that's more than 25% of the HP. So I think it's a decent unit. A good fifth pick, good fourth, fifth pick maybe. But I wouldn't necessarily gonna call it like, oh, this is one of the top LDs, this is gonna be super meta. And the main issue with that is resist. The moment your skill is resisted, it does absolutely nothing. And your unit is pretty much a sitting duck and therefore not that good. So he did do some RTA matches with it. I'm gonna find one RTA match which is interesting to show. He's really high in RTA, like G3, top 200 even. So let's actually see an RTA match where it was used and where it worked like pretty well. So he plays the CC comp meta pretty much, and he adds in the new unit, the Douman, and he did lose this match. I kind of can see already why Douman would do nothing if they leave it through. And I think for now, would they leave it through? Yeah, they would leave it through. So the issue is shields. I think because of the shields, Douman doesn't do all too much. Oh, if he would have actually landed that S1, he could have stripped, which would have been better. Okay, so he can start on like chipping the monkey pretty much. It looks like he's in a good spot right now. And the monkey does get like quite some extra HP. So currently, if Artemil would heal, then Artemil also takes more damage. He looks to be in a good spot so far, but I think Artemil would Artemil still heal in this position? Well, Artemil cannot heal, so Karma's pretty much a useless skill right now because Artemil doesn't have any cool times up. Wait, he's winning this, right? He should be winning this. Totally. So yeah, it is a nice addition, but... Or is he winning this? So that one is that. You still have to get rid of this unit. The cooldowns are pretty long on Curse of Death. Okay, there you have Curse of Death again. Yeah, he wins this. He totally wins this. I thought for a sec he lost this match, but maybe like he switched out some other matches and therefore the point system. But in this match it was a decent showcase of Curse of Death, and it actually did work out pretty well. But you cannot say in every match it's gonna be that good. So let's check one more. By the points, he should have lost this one. So let's see. There's a whole bunch of support on the enemy team. And I think it's good in a bruiser fight where there's not that many supports. But how often do you have a bruiser fight without that many supports? Not that much. I'm also, yeah, Juno cannot cleanse it. So, okay, if it's just reset, it's gonna do not that much. He does have Jemire though. Ooh, that bomb though. That bomb though. Ooh, and the turn rotation is the other way around. Also, I think a lot of these bruiser fights, like where you would pick her in the slot, often a Rika or a Belenus or even a Blution or anything like that would probably be more interesting than having her in that slot. Because if you had in this slot a Blution, well, okay, it was a reset by Okeanos, but a Blution would have probably did way more damage to the enemy team the moment he lands his skill. So if the Blution, well, even if the Blution is reset, and then with the Jemire you would cut in to actually reset the Blution again, well, if Sierra didn't kill it, but that's just depending on what turn order, if your Jemire is faster than the Sierra. But I think Evolution would often do better. But is this unit good? Yes, I definitely think this unit is good, but you cannot slap it into everything. It's really niche. It can have its uses, but there's also a whole bunch of units that can probably do similar things better. And the main issue for me is the S2 is just really terrible. It's just a 2-turn silence. Like nearly no one is gonna use like any skill unless it's a high benefit of using that skill at that time. And if they do so, they can miss out on that 50% HP, and the 50% HP doesn't even kill. Like if the 50% HP reduction would kill, then it would be really good. But for example, a Fran would pretty much out heal it. A lot of units would just, even a Kamoon shield would pretty much like mitigate like half of the damage or more. So for that reason, I think it's a really cool unit, really interesting mechanic, but I do think they have to buff it in a way that, like personally, what I would like to see is that both Karma and Curse of Death are irresistible, and you can land them on immunity, and you can't cleanse them. I think by then, maybe I'm asking too much, or maybe it gets too overpowered. Let me know in the comments, but we're talking LD5 right now. This, like, to be all honest, this could be on level of like Gianna's, Rakdos, that kind of stuff, and this unit currently is absolutely not. So if you add in those three things, irresistible, landable on immunity, and non-cleansable for both Karma and this, then suddenly these units become good, but I don't think overpowered good, because Karma is still ignorable. Like even if you can't cleanse it, even if you it is landable on immunity and that kind of stuff, you can still ignore it. So therefore Karma doesn't become too overpowered in my opinion. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about it, and thanks for watching guys. See you in the next one.